All right, I got a video for you guys on window install. This is a very popular request. I get a lot of questions about this, and I kind of never go over the entire process, but we're at the point right now where I can show you quite a bit of detail on a window install. And to be honest, my guys don't like being filmed when they're working, so I sneak it in here and there, but I like to come after hours when they're not working and kind of film what they've been doing. So this is a 20-foot camo container. This is going to be a hunting cabin, so steel walk door, two large windows. Those are 60 by 48, so 5 feet by 4 feet tall, and those are going to be black windows, so this thing's going to be really cool. I don't think we're going to put shutters on those windows, we'll see. And then we're going to put 4 bunk beds on the back wall. So you'll have bunk bed, bunk bed, bunk bed, bunk bed, and those will all fold up, and then we're going to kind of place the outlets appropriately. So a couple things on this container I can show you that should glean some pretty good details for you guys. So window install. So we come over here and build the window frames. You're going to go about an 1/8 inch over on your window frame, 1/8 inch over the size of your window. You can buy windows with nailing flanges or existing construction windows without a nailing flange. Most of the time we get nailing flange windows because they're a little bit more common and we can get the size and colors we need. So here's a frame that's built. Now this is a 2-inch frame, so this is going to be a shutter, but your window frame would be a 2x3. A 3-inch wide frame is going to fit most windows with the nailing flange cut off and leave you a nice reveal for sealant on the outside and so on. So get your window frame built about an 1/8 inch over the size of the opening. The rough opening for the window is generally going to be that size. I think we like to lean to the little bit tighter side. And then you're going to take that window frame and mark it on the container. We don't use the frame itself to mark it on the container. We just use measurements. I'm not going to get into the cutting wheel, plasma, all that debate right now. So you're going to cut your opening about a 1/16 of an inch total larger than your window frame. If you don't do it all the time, it is extremely easy to get that cut out larger than the hole, and you've got kind of a mess with welding and sealant at that point. So let's assume you've got the window frame hole cut out and you've got the window frame built. What we do, you can full weld the entire perimeter. I don't really like it because the corrugation starts walking around. Weld isn't necessarily waterproof, and you're dealing with thin metal. So what we like to do is stitch weld and then seal it. So let's assume you've got your window frame and your hole cut out and you're welding it in. What we do is tack, and so what you want to do is make sure the window frame is square this way and square this way. And so plumb, so get it square in the hole and plumb. And the best way to get plumb is actually just look down at the corrugation and make sure it matches up with the corrugation. The larger the hole you cut out, the more this corrugation is going to walk around. So on this window frame here, this corrugation would have gone in. So what you do is start with your stiffer corrugation, get the reveal you want, and for us that's about a 7/8 inch reveal from the corrugation to the edge of the frame, and that leaves us room inside for the wood framing. And so we get that corner set, and then we're going to start pushing that corrugation out as we come along here and weld this window frame in. So once you get it tacked in, everything is square, good to go. You can stitch weld about an inch every 6 inches, 8 inches, whatever you want. It's a window, you don't have to go overkill on it. We stitch weld on the inside so we can seal the outside without hitting our weld. So that's important too. This really turns into a 2-man job, especially the larger the windows you do. So at this point, you're about ready for your window. We're going to finish painting and everything before this goes in. And we actually remove the vents. If you run into container vents, we remove those and scoot them up so they kind of still look factory. You can just cut through the window vents. They will catch on fire if you don't slow down. So be careful, because if they catch on fire, you lose your vent and you make a mess. So maybe cut through half the vent and give it a break. On your windows, here are the windows that are going in. And like I said, I like the Performax windows from Menards. They've got a stainless track at the bottom. They slide like butter. highly recommend. So what we've done here is cut the nailing flanges off, so you've got a flush surface, and that's your rough opening. Here is one with a nailing flange, so you're going to cut that off and kind of smooth these windows up. So you're going to take that window and then put it into this 2x3 frame, and we set it back to about right here, and that leaves you a nice reveal for sealant. And then we use a TEK screw here, here, and here to hold the window, and then we also seal the inside. So a window, although it seems very simple, like most things on most jobs, and especially jobs on containers, it turns into quite a complicated and long process and very difficult to get right. You can also build this frame out of wood. So what you do is lay your 2x4s or 2x3s on the corrugation, trace them, cut them in half, and then screw those that wood framing over the corrugation. And so you can do this entire thing without welding. So once we get that window set in there and the TEK screws in, we're going to seal it, and that sealant is going to look like this. And leaving that window in the frame with a nice reveal gives you a nice line to lay sealant on, just like that. If you're not going to paint that sealant, so if you got a black window, use black silicone. If you got a white window, you can use white silicone. Polyurethane is also a very good product. Sikaflex 221 is the way to go with polyurethane, and polyurethane is paintable. So the walk door is pretty much the same entire process. I mean, building a steel walk door with a shipping container frame is a whole another video. And you can see here we've integrated that drip rail into the walk door build at this point. But same process with getting that set in. The door is even more tricky because all your gaps and everything have to be spot on, because if someone walks up to your build and sees a gap on the door that's off, I would personally assume, what else did they screw up? So all these things have to be absolutely perfect. And one more thing on this, I've done a lot of videos on framing, but this is a very good point where I can show you the frame where we put that little vertical top plate on your normal horizontal top plate. And so then you can walk the ceiling studs in one by one, and that locks out against that upper bar there. So I hope this was a lot of good information for you guys. And by all means, if you guys are interested in any of our products, email Carl with a C at simpleshippingcontainers.com. We got a lot of like motion lights that are non-screw. They use the corner casting to go into your containers, solar motion lights, solar vents, all kinds of stuff. So as always, appreciate you guys watching, and have a good night.